Yo, 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 what's up, what's up? It's Coach Nick Money in the house with the one, the only, the indelible one, DBL Nicks.
In the house.
And of course, we got the prancing stock queen with a bushy tail on the Serengeti specialist, the one, the only, the one that hunts for stonks for us to check out.
DBL Moms.
DBL Moms. Hold on one second, Doubles. I think you got a video here running in the background. So I got some audio here. Yeah, this is not good. I'm hearing myself.
You got it. Yeah, there you go.
All right, yeah, we gotta not make sure that doesn't happen, okay?
Yeah,
Because I get confused real easy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, so today has been a continuation of the rest of this week with a lot of stuff going up and then going back down. News don't really matter no much, not that much at all. Doubles, it doesn't matter that much at all. You know what I'm saying? These tickers are not keeping their prices. They've been pretty, how should I put it? Unstable.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at what's going on. So NKGN had some news, and it shot up on that news. I think it had, Parkinson's or what was it? Yeah, NKGen Biotech to present new positive clinical trial biomarker data on Alzheimer's. So it's currently up 32%. It was up higher than that. The float is 11 million and the volume is 8.5 million, but you can see that it's got this terrible top tail. We like to call them, we call them TT, terrible top tail. TTT, terrible top tail. So these tickers are not really holding their prices today. So you can see that it kind of flushed and it's not trustworthy. So, All right, SYTA is another ticker that also did the same type of thing. Let's go ahead and clear some of these drawings so we can see it a little bit more clearly. We're on a 5-minute chart over here, and we're looking at it on the 5-minute chart, and you can see that it popped up. It had news. They reported a $4.5 million in new orders from U.S. wireless carriers. That was the news. The float on this was really nice, 970,000 shares. So the float was super low for this particular ticker. But, it caught a little bit of volume. Nothing spectacular. Well, actually, it caught a lot of volume, 21 million shares. But it couldn't hold its price. So that seems to be a common theme right now, that these tickers are not holding their price. And right now, on the 5-minute chart, Doubles, it looks kind of disgusting. You know what I mean? Kind of not so attractive. It looks like a
Shoulder.
Yeah, shoulder right there, Doubles.
Yes,
A head right there, Doubles.
And another shoulder.
And then another shoulder. So that would be a bad pattern, and it looks to me like we could continue to see a drop in price based on that pattern. That pattern is not really schmexy, Doubles.
Not schmexy.
Not schmexy at all. Let's go to the 1 minute, and you can see it a little bit more pronounced on the 1 minute. You can see a little bit more pronounced on the 1 minute. Here's the shoulder. Here's the shoulder. There's the head. So that's the situation. Now, let me begin by saying that we are not financial or stock advisors, and this show is not to be taken as stock or financial advice. It's just for entertainment purposes only.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
All righty. And also, in addition to that, if you're not following us on YouTube, what are you doing? Follow us on YouTube. Why not? It's free. Free to follow us on YouTube, right? And do what this gentleman says, por favor.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share.
Because sharing is caring, right? Sharing is caring, Doubles, no? Yeah. If you're not following us on Twitter, x.com, it's at Coach Nick Money, at Coach Nick Money. And of course, you could follow us on Twitch, at Coach Nick Money.
At Coach Nick Money.
At Coach Nick Money. That is absolutely correctamundo. And we're going to be streaming live here on the various social media platforms. And then after that, at 9:25 Eastern Standard Time in the morning, approximately, we will start streaming on our Discord channel. So you can do a 5-day trial for $1. The link is in the description. It's also in the pinned comments. You could go ahead and take that trial. And then after that, it's $39.99, and you could actually come in and check out our live stream. We get a lot more in depth with a review of the charts, as well as the various strategies that we use. We get really deep into it, so you could come and check that out. We are going to be raising the prices on the Discord, so it's going to be jumping up from the $39.99. So if you want to join the Discord, I highly recommend you do it now, because the prices are going up shortly, probably by the end of the day, to be quite honest with you. Right, Doubles? Is that what you have scheduled with the text to change everything?
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, so if you want to join the Discord and try it out, it's 5 days for $1, then it's $39.99 for the time being, but by the end of the day, the price is going to be going up permanently. So, yeah, so that's the thing. All right, so we're looking at SYTA, which did have that news of getting a contract, from a wireless carrier, 4.5 million. Float very low on the stock, 970,000 shares. Volume is 21 million. However, it has formed on the 1 minute. You can take a look at it. You can see that it has a head and shoulders pattern. Here's your head, here's your shoulders. It is breaking through VWAP, which is good. But what we really want to see happen, as I changed the graffiti pencil, is we want to see it break through these levels right here where the shoulders are, right? So we want to see a break of these shoulders right here. And then we want to see this level broken, and then we want to see the level of the high of the day, $1.10 broken. All right, so it's got quite a bit of work ahead of it, and it has proven to be on the backside of the movement. We can see that the price action is starting to move on the RSI into the overbought area. It's not quite there. I do like the green big candles here, but it's got to stay above VWAP. VWAP's right over here, so let's go ahead and put a line right there. It needs to stay above VWAP to show us that it has strength, and quite frankly, we still have that prevailing head and shoulders pattern, which seems to be the dominant pattern that we have here. So for now, it's a little bit too uncertain. Jimmy says BNOX. Let's go check a look at BNOX. Let's go see what's going on with that. All right, so that is a quite bearish pattern on the 1 minute chart. It looks quite bearish. So let's go over what's going on. Currently, the stock's at 91 cents, 92 cents. It's just under 10%. The float is not horrendous. It's okay at around 8 million. A little lower would be better, but it's not horrible. The volume is not that high. It's under 16 million. So if you got an 8 million stock and only 16 million in volume, that's not a lot of volume at all. But let's get the graffiti pencil out on the 5 minutes. So let's put it on a 5 minute chart. Let's zoom into it. And as we zoom in, you could see the plethora of top tails, which is a problem. So first things first, let's go ahead and create the head and shoulders pattern that we have here. So you got a shoulder over here, and you got a shoulder over here, and all the price action currently is under VWAP. So you got several issues with this ticker. All right, so let's go ahead and put a drawing right away. How? And there goes your VWAP, your VWAPA, okay? VWAPA. And of course, with that head and shoulders pattern, you've got a sell-off. So what we'll do is we'll put a trend line here. So it's got a downward trend. It would need to break this downward trend to become a valid play again, in my humble opinion. And if we look at it on the 1 minute, you could see that the candles appear to almost be barcoding, which is indicative of lack of volume and liquidity. And as we say, when there's a lack of liquidity, it's movement that is pushed by the market makers, and that's what causes that barcode-esque type of movement by the candles. And you can see on the last candle, there's only 10,000 shares of volume on that last candle. So it's quite small, and it needs to break this downtrend. And of course, it's coming out of a bearish pattern, the head and shoulders, both on the 1 minute as well as the 5 minute chart. You have confluence on both of them for that bearish head and shoulders and downtrend. So we need to see a break of that. It's trying, but it's not doing too well. Needs volume. Needs volume. Vitamin V. Volume. Vitamin V. That's what we like to call it. ONCO. ONCO. Come on, type that doggone keyboard, you. There we go. ONCO. All right, so ONCO, here's the dealio. It's a 19-cent stock, so you got to know it's going to be very volatile. The float is on the higher side, but it's a cheap stock. It's 21 million, but the volume is only 44 million, so you don't have a lot of volume in respect to the amount of float that you have in the in this particular stock. Okay, they announced the closing of warrants back on July 15th at $1.11. Okay, I mean that's kind of old news. All right, so we don't have any current news, and it seems to be trending downward. So we can go ahead and extend this trend line. Let's go ahead and get rid of the original trend line, and we'll do a new one. And it is trending down, so it needs to break this downtrend right here. This is it right here. It's got to break this downtrend, and then you're going to have significant resistance right at VWAP over here. And of course, there'll be resistance before that, but you're going to have real significant resistance at the 22-cent mark. This is another level of resistance right over here. And of course, resistance right there. And then if we want to draw support, support would be here and here. So these are some of the more immediate key levels for ONCO. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying the stream this morning, would you kindly consider sharing the stream so we can grow the sucker? Blow it up. Let's blow it up, man. Share, 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 share. Follow, subscribe. Do what you got to do. Let's get this big so that we can keep on putting out more and more content for you. The bigger the channel gets, the more stuff I can do to entertain you and give you some really cool content. Right, Doubles?
Yeah.
Time for some espresso ice. A salute to everyone. Yeah, baby. Yeah. I know it's a quiet week, folks. I know that, but this is a good time to learn. You know, get some education. Learn about the charts, the different types of charts, even if it's not running. So here's another ticker we're going to talk about. So this is a ticker that I don't know if it's a takeover type of situation or not, but it looks like it, because whenever you see stuff like this, this is usually an indication of a takeover or a merger. This ticker is Choose Holding Inc. Currently up 47%. It could also be a reverse split type of situation. Not sure. Probably not a reverse split. Probably some kind of a takeover. But whenever you see stuff like this, it's usually indicative of a merger or something along those lines. And it's basically a consolidation of price action. So not much you could really do with that. So, SYTA. All right, so SYTA, we know that it has a head and shoulders pattern, right? We got the shoulder here, the head here, and the other shoulder. So if it cannot break through VWAP, which it's having difficulty with, we could expect the price action to continue popping down. If it can break VWAP, again, it will need vitamin V and vitamin D. It needs volume and demand, right? Demand and volume is kind of like the same thing, but, you know, it's got to get some D. It needs D. It needs D, you know what I mean?
Give it some D.
It needs D. So it doesn't look particularly healthy at this point, right now, on the 5-minute chart.
5 minute.
5 minute. And it doesn't look particularly healthy on the 1 minute, even though it had news and even though it has a mighty low float. But I would have to say that, you know, the fact that it has that low float, if it could get some volume, maybe it could become schmexy later on. But right now, at this moment, it is a bearish pattern. But I'm going to keep it on a side chart. SYTA, you're going to be my side action. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because you're kind of sexy, but you're not curvy enough for me. You're not curving upward. So, side chart.
Side chart.
FLA for SYTA. SYTA, side chart. NCPL, another ticker that is on the scanner. Not particularly very attractive on the 1 minute. Let's go to the 5 minute. It is another one of those cheapo stocks. And I don't necessarily hate the cheapo stocks. But they tend to be more volatile, very volatile. So on the 5 minute chart, it appears that we have a prevailing double top right over here at this level. So let's get the graffiti pencil out and indicate where that is. We got it over here and over here. So let's see what the news is for NCPL. Net Capital announces launch of beta version for a secondary trading platform. Okay. All right, so that's the story. The float on the heavier side, 15 million. But again, the stock's only 10 cents, so not that big of a deal. Volume, though, is not that high, 13 million. So 10 million float, 13 million volume. Nah, meh, eh. Okay. However, it is trending upward. So, I mean, we do have a prevailing double top, which would be a bearish indicator of a potential reversal downward, and the price action did, in fact, drop. However, it is still kind of trending upward, okay? Not schmexy at all, not a ticker that I would take a trade on right about now. And if we go to the 1 minute, you can see that it looks quite choppy. The candles don't look healthy and juicy, and there's a good reason for it. When I go to the last candle, you can see that, well, you probably can't see it because it's covered by a sticker, but there's only about 850 shares trading on that particular candle. So there's not a lot of volume. And then the other issue, let's get that graffiti pencil out, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm sharpening that sucker because you know that's what I do. But the other issue is it's under VWAP. And then when you're under VWAP, it's no good. It's no good to be under the VWAP. So, folks, volume weighted average, that's what VWAP is. And what that basically is an average taking into consideration the amount of shares that are trading. So it's not just the price action candle by candle, but it's the price action taking into consideration the amount of shares in each candle. So it tends to give you a much more accurate indication of the sentiment of where the price is going. And if the price is below VWAP, then the indication is that it's more on a backside of a move or on a bearish type of a standing. If the price action gets above VWAP, then it's generally more bullish or on the front side of the move. And you can see that it's trying to test the VWAP right now. But as I hover on that candle, there's only 7,643 shares trading at this point. So the volume is just super duper low, especially when you have 15 million shares that are in the float. Okay, so again, 10 cent stock, very risque, and the prevailing winds appear to be this double top, which now appears to be a triple top with this top wick right over here. Do you see how this top wick faked everybody out? It was a false breakout. So if it can't reclaim this, and if it can't break through this top level, we are looking at a potential triple top. Okay, so right over there, we'll put that there. And you can see it is certainly trying to trick people into taking the trades, because now you have two top tails, and we don't like the top tails doubles.
We like the bottom.
We're all about the bottom tails. These top tails are not particularly attractive at all. No. Let's go to the 5 minute. And when we zoom into the 5 minute, you can see right over here that it has formed these triple tails, right? Top tails. So you have these triple top tails. It would have to reclaim this price action. Okay. It is trending upward, but it would need to reclaim it. And we've already seen on the 1 minute two false breakouts right over here where it looked like it was going to break out, and it failed on both counts, right? So this is a pretty risky ticker to play around with at this juncture. And the reason being, there's not a lot of volume on it. When there's not a lot of volume on these tickers, it's hard to trade them. Okay, so this candle right now, it's getting some volume in it, 45,000, but still that's not a lot. So we'll come back to NCPL if it starts to become doubles. Shamexy, but right now you're not Shamexy. So what have you done for me lately?
What have you done for me lately?
ZIMV, another ticker. Not very heavily traded, not attractive. No. How about SQNS, another ticker that has popped on the radar? Another penny stock. Again, these stocks are super duper risky. Sometimes you can make a lot of money with them, and sometimes you can lose a lot of money with them. It's currently trading at 55 cents. It's up just under 20%. I don't see any news on it in particular, nothing particularly out there news-wise. Float, a little thick on quite thick actually, 34 million. And there's only 3,930 shares of volume. So there's not that much volume. So NKGN meh, meh, eh, meh, meh, like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. INBS also on the scanner. Round the corner and dropped off a cliff. Not anything worth looking at. SDST, this ticker was moving yesterday. I think this was a recent D-SPAC. It's curling up somewhat. Prices on the higher side, moving on very light volume. There are some levels that we can draw on it, but not particularly sexy or schmexy at all, in my humble opinion. So we got support over here, resistance over here. You got resistance right around here. You got resistance right around here. And then, of course, at the high of day, just under $28, you got resistance there as well. And I guess we could put some other support areas here and here, right there. But aside from that, meh. SDST, not very attractive at all. Doubles, not attractive at all. How about LIXT? Let's see what that one's doing. Again, none of these tickers are really moving, and I know there's not that much excitement. I know the indelible family wants to see things go parabolic. I know you want to see those big, juicy, green candles pumping and pumping, pushing and pushing. I know that. And I know you want to see those ugly shorts get their Speedos shorted. You know you hate those Banana Republics. You know that. You know that. I know you know that. Ish. But today's not that day. Not yet. Not yet. And you know what, doubles? It only takes one. You know what I mean?
Oh, it does.
Ooh, that espresso ice hits different, doubles. It hits different.
Yes.
My little prancing, bushy-tailed Serengeti queen. Do you see anything? Can you report to our peoples? How about giving them a little bit of an alert?
An alert?
One more.
Hey!
One more.
Hey!
There you go. Hey, if we can't get stonks that move, we can at least get some gazelles, no?
Ish.
Yeah.
You could at least get some hey.
And some haze. Hey! 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 I love that. Shiznit. I was going to say the bad word.
Yeah.
And then I realized I was live.
Yeah.
So I had to stop it.
No bad.
Because I'm a good boy.
No bad.
I'm a good boy, doubles.
Yes.
A good boy. Yeah. All right, so far we got a lot of trash over here. Nothing spectacular. Nothing spectacular. I got very disappointed with SYTA. I really thought that might hold up, but it is quite bearish. And we said that it was going to start pulling down on that head and shoulders. So look at this fake out. Look, watch this, okay? Watch this. When there's a lack of volume, you basically have a lot of algorithmic movement from, large companies making moves on these stocks. And because you have that algorithmic movement, you could have movements that are going to look like it's potentially going to start moving, right? So look at what it did. It created what appeared to be a double bottom under VWAP, but there's not a lot of volume. So this stuff is being moved by algos, not just regular trading, but algos. So they made it look like it was going to pop up, but the prevailing wind was already charted. You saw this. Head and shoulders. That's the prevailing wind. That's a bear pattern. Okay? Straight up bear pattern. And what these algos do is they probably made people think that there was going to be a break of VWAP, knowing that a lot of people are going to jump in at a break of VWAP, and then what happens? What happens, doubles? What happens? They reversed it and tanked it because the prevailing wind was a head and shoulders pattern. There's just not a lot of volume. If I look at this candle right now, there's only 45,000, 51,000 shares trading. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. So the prevailing wind is still the head and shoulders pattern on the 1 minute. You go to the 5 minute, 5 minute. And on the 5 minute, you can see that the price action continues to trend downward from that head and shoulders pattern. So what I like to do, doubles, is I like to take a look at what the prevailing pattern is. I don't jump at the more immediate small patterns, right? Because, you could easily have been tricked with this pattern right here. Right? Let's go ahead and put a little graffiti on here, right? So this kind of looks like a double bottom, right? Okay. All right, so the price action moved up. It hit natural resistance, strong resistance at VWAP, and then what happens? The price action completely flushes. Now, it might retest VWAP a couple of times, but the fact of the matter is you just don't have a lot of volume. This current candle has 5,000 871 shares trading hands. That is nothing, doubles. Nothing at all.
Nothing.
We cannot do anything with that.
It is not a thing.
It is not a thing. Nothing. Nothing at all.
Nothing.
Okay, you need volume. Vitamin V. Get the needle out, doubles. Dr. Doubles, get the needle out.
Get the D. The D.
Give it some D. It needs a little D.
Gonna inject it with some D.
Yes, vitamin D.
Wait,
It needs demand. It needs demand. It needs vitamin V, volume. So when there's low volume, these patterns become less valid because they're most likely to not being moved by algorithmic movement that can make you think it's going to go one way, but in reality, it's going the opposite direction. Doubles.
Yes,
Meh,
going
meh,
the opposite
meh.
direction. Meh.
So that's the story, and I'm sticking with it. So far, SYTA, yeah, you ran a little earlier. I don't know. How high did it go, DBL moms?
It went up to 60%.
It went up 60%. But what have you done for me lately, SYTA? You had decent news. You know, you got this deal for $4.5 million in new orders from U.S. wireless carriers. You know, your float's low, 970,000 shares. Your volume's high, 25 million shares. But right now, the overall market's kind of soft and tender. It's soft and tender, doubles. So, you know, we'll keep an eye on you. But until you break out of this bearish pattern, what have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately? You know, here's another one. APLM. Okay, APLM. We did a video on this ticker a long time ago and predicted a bull run on it way back when, and it ultimately did have a bull run. And this morning it was up a bit, and you know, the stock basically sold off after that bull run. A lot of these micro caps, they have a very hard time holding on to their price. So this particular ticker bounced up about 13-14% so far. It was a little bit higher earlier in the morning, and right now it's a 26-cent stock. Super duper risky ticker. But here's the deal. They received a 180-day extension to regain compliance with NASDAQ, and that was on July 16th. Doubles. Apparently, they're not in compliance. APLM, you're not in compliance. Apollo Inc. is not in compliance. How dare you? But they got a 188-day extension. Could be because NASDAQ requires that companies that are listed on NASDAQ need to be over $1. Doubles, over $1. Now, one way they could do it is to stop making more money. But another way they could do it is through a reverse split where they basically take the overall stocks and combine them to form one stock, which then gets priced over $1. So, as an example, let's say, for example, you got 5 stocks. Each stock is 20 cents. You got 5 of them. You combine them, make it one stock, and it's worth $1. Voila, you have compliance. So maybe APLM might do something like that at some point because they are not in compliance. But they did get the extension, and one of the reasons why I'm saying they might do that is because their float is disgusting. It's 39 million, almost 40 million shares. So if they were to combine, let's say if they were to combine to do a 4 to, they're about 25 cents right now. So if they did a 1 for 4 reverse split, they'd be down to 10 million float, and they'd be $1. So maybe they're going to do that. But anyway, APLM, bearish pattern, about 40 million float, volume only 7 million, and you basically got a situation here where the trend of the price action is going downward. So it would need to break this downtrend right over here that we've drawn right over here. And so far, it is not doing that. So, APLM, what have you done for me lately? All right, we got ARIB. Jimmy Jean Baptiste wants to know about ARIB, American Rebel. And I know that there's been some chatter about this particular ticker on social media. It looks like it's a double top right over here and right over here. But more importantly, we're on the 1 minute, so let me show you what I'm seeing. You see this area right over here and this area right over there? Let's go ahead and highlight it. See right over here? You got barcoding, okay? which indicates that there is a lack of liquidity. So again, for the new folks that are coming in, what exactly is barcoding? It's real simple. It is these patterns that look kind of like a barcode. You know, when you go and get your stuff scanned at the grocery store. Okay, so when it does that, that's indicative of lack of liquidity. Not enough people are buying and selling the particular stock. So what happens is there are these companies called market makers, and their job is to provide liquidity for people who want to buy or sell the stock, and they basically hold a certain amount of shares in hand, if you will, to be able to buy or sell those particular stocks, and that's their job. And they make money on very slight movements one way or another because they can buy or sell at any particular time. So as a result, what happens is the movement of the price action is limited to the range that they're selling and buying to make their profits, and it results in this barcoding type of pattern, and it often results in lateral type of movement, consolidating kind of movement, which makes it kind of difficult to trade if you're a regular person instead of a computer, right? So that being said, we have barcoding and we have what looks to be a double top. So unless volume comes in, the double top can very easily result in a downward movement over here like that. And so far, we don't have a lot of volume. This last candle has 1,637 shares that have exchanged hands on ARAB. And that is a very low volume, very low volume. The stock is currently down 7%. The float on this is low. It's about 5.9, almost 6 million, but the volume on it is only 516,000, so it's not enough to really move this ticker. So AREB right now, not really moving significantly, lack of volume, not particularly schmexy.
Not schmexy.
Not schmexy. No. We have some other tickers we're going to take a look at. Let's take a look at SLRX, see if anything's going on with that one. SLRX. Price action pumped up and dumped. So, no, we're not going to take a look at that one. It does not look particularly, how should I put it, appetizing. Let's go to MRT. Not enough volume. No. Time for some espresso ice. Ladies and gentlemen, it ain't a party if you ain't getting yourself some espresso ice. I'm just saying, DBL moms, you are the espresso ice barista of the world. You have the champion belt for espresso ice, my dear little bushy-tailed dove. You. Yeah. Ooh, that's like a heck of a yawn there. She yawned with her bushy tail, and then a bushy tail moved as she yawned. Doubles. You saw that, right?
Yes.
You saw that. Espresso ice time. Oh. Okay. So, let's see if we can find something that's interesting, and if we can't, we'll chat about general theories and ideas pertaining to stonks. Because this is always a good time for education when things are slow, right? BCTX. Might as well make the best out of a slow situation. Okay, so once again, the price action has completely collapsed on BCTX. It did have some news at around 8 o'clock dealing with progression-free trial in patient with eye bulging metastatic breast cancer. Float heavy, 16 million. Volume low, 9 million. That's never a good equation. And you could see that the price action resulted in a complete round trip around the corner, as I like to call it, and a downward movement. So this particular ticker is not very schmexy at all. And if we zoom in a little bit, you can see the elements of barcoding, which was what we were discussing with the other ticker, which again, indicative of low volume. And that seems to be the theme for the entire week so far. It is the middle of summer. There's also been significant news that rocked the market a little bit earlier. Although the big caps are moving, the small caps didn't take kindly to what's going on. And plus, the lack of volume has kind of slowed things down for the small caps for the time being. But again, this stuff is cyclical, so a lot of folks might get a little concerned and upset, but things happen in waves. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, we were calling tickers that were running 300%, 400%, 500%, 100%, So, in a day, too, or even later today, you might have a ticker that might pop and move. Like yesterday was slow as well, but there was a couple of tickers that ended up running later in the day. We had, what, 2, 3 tickers that ended up going over 100%, right, DBL Moms?
Right.
Yeah, something like that, right? So that's the story. That is the story. So let's see what else we got. What do we got? Let's see. Let's see. Let's try Viri. I want to see some other tickers. Even if they don't particularly look attractive, we could check them out and analyze what's going on with them. Okay, so let's clear some of the old drawings from earlier. So again, what you generally have with under $1 stock is you have a lot more volatility and a lot more opportunities to make or lose money. And I don't particularly like trading sub-dollar stocks, but there are opportunities with these sub-dollar stocks under certain circumstances. So let's take a look at what's going on with this particular ticker. Right off the bat, we're on the 1-minute chart, and we could see right off the bat that there is a ton of barcoding. So it's telling me that it has very low volume, okay? They had news in May, but nothing recent, so there's no news that can act as a catalyst to spur movement. And the float is very high, almost 17 million on the stock. Now, granted, the stock is cheap, but it's still on the high side. But here's the kicker. The volume is only 6 million. So if you got almost 17 million in float and your volume is about less than half that, you're not going to have a lot of liquidity. So it's going to make it very difficult for the stock to push upward, if you will. So let's analyze it anyway. Let's do it on the 5-minute because it'll dissipate a little bit the barcoding component of it so that it doesn't look as meh, if you will. But we know that it's barcoding, right? So we keep that in our back pocket doubles. So the first thing we could see is that there was an uptrend. Okay, and with that uptrend, what do you, folks, put it in the chat. What do you see over here? Put it in the chat. Who's going to be the first one to tell me what kind of pattern formed right over here, ladies and gentlemen? Indelibles of all kinds. Go ahead, put it right over here. All right, I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to figure it out. So right now, it's testing VWAP. You let me know what this pattern is. I'm going to put a circle around it. I want y'all to tell me what you saw over here that kind of tipped us off where the price was going to go. All right, and meanwhile, we'll go ahead and put a little line over here. Well, not like that. This one right here, right? This is where VWAP is. It's testing VWAP, so that's a good sign. We like seeing that. But does anybody know what this pattern is? Okay, I'll tell you what it is. Here we go. Ready? We're going to zoom in. Ready? You got a triple top here. So if we get the graffiti pencil out, it is a bearish triple top pattern. Here, here, and here. And as a result, the price action ended up flushing down here. Now, it broke this downtrend, and started consolidating, which is good. And now it's moving up, and it's finding resistance at this level. So let's clear out some of these lines so that it doesn't look so confusing. And right now, theoretically, you could say that this is a double bottom, but the fact of the matter is the prevailing pattern is still this triple top. Okay, and there was another ticker that did something very similar to this, which we just talked about, where it had a double or triple top, it flushed, it formed what looked like a double bottom, moved towards VWAP, and rejected. And I think that was SYTA. Let's see, am I right? Yep, I'm certainly right. I am certainly right. It wasn't a double top. It was a head and shoulders. That's what it was. It was a head and shoulders. With this one, it was a head and shoulders. It formed this double bottom underneath VWAP, tested VWAP, and rejected. Okay. Now remember, a lot of this stuff is happening on low volume, so these are algorithmic patterns that are happening, and a lot of these algorithmic patterns will be used on different tickers. So, bear pattern with a triple top on SYTA, a flush. the algorithms create the double bottom to test VWAP rejection. Now we go to Viri, right? Viri, similar situation, okay? Triple top, right here. And actually, you know, you could also say that it's a head and shoulders as well. So you could have a head right here, shoulder, shoulder, okay? Doesn't matter. They're both bearish patterns is the bottom line, right? So the prevailing winds are that you have a triple top, which is also a bearish pattern. The price action drops below VWAP. It forms what appears to be a potential double bottom, right? Or an inverted head and shoulders, but let's say double bottom, and it's testing VWAP. Now, in this instance, it's breaking VWAP, but is this a bull trap? Is this a bull trap? Is this going to fake us out and reverse? I don't know for sure, but because the prevailing pattern is a triple top and it's been very soft in the market this morning, and I know that there's very little volume on these candles, okay? 180,000 shares on this particular candle for Viri, okay? Not a lot of volume, okay? Not a lot of volume at all, actually, right? And this is a 16 million, almost 17 million float stock. So this could totally be a bull trap. Oh, and what happened? What happened, ladies and gentlemen? What happened? Top tail red. We don't like top tails doubles.
We like the bottom tail.
We like the bottom tails. And we certainly don't like top tail red. Top tail red is nasty. All right, so now you have two top tails, okay? So now they might play it off as if it's going to hold support on VWAP, and maybe they'll try to push it back up. But at the end of the day, this candle still does not have a tremendous amount of volume. Volume seems to be coming in, but other indicators are showing me that this is not moving the way it needs to move. Look at this candle. It's going from red to green, red to green. It's a doji. It's a doji green. There's indecisiveness. There's not a heck of a lot of volume on it. So, yeah, there's certainly a possibility that I'm wrong, but there's also a pretty darn good chance that I'm right. Okay, so this is not a ticker that I would be taking a position in right here. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm not giving you stock advice. I'm not a financial advisor or a stock advisor.
This is just a show.
It's just a show, and I'm just telling you what I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. All I'm doing. But I want to check this Viri thing out because I want to see if I'm, if my thesis is correct. Are they going to push it back down? Is Viri going to move similar to the way SYTA moved? Is it really going to be like this algo bull trap or not? What's the story? So far, it's trying to hold VWAP, right? And that would probably induce people to take the position. Time for some espresso ice, right? So that would probably induce people to take the position. But is this really bull movement? Is it really bull movement when there's not a lot of volume on it? Okay, there's just not a lot of volume. This candle currently now has 534,000 shares. Again, this is almost a 17 million floated stock. It's going to need a lot more than that to move, okay? Does it move? Let's see. I mean, volume's coming in, but you could see that the candle's not moving very strongly, right? So this is basically algorithms trading back and forth on this particular ticker. If we go to the 1 minute and we zoom in, it's barcoding. This is all movement that's being done by algos. There's not a lot of liquidity, so the market makers come into the mix to provide liquidity, and you have this choppy movement. And you can see that it doesn't particularly look very attractive when you get into the 1 minute chart. Look at this. It's a hot mess. I mean, what is this? What is this mess? What is it? It's a mess, I tell you. And what it is on a shorter time frame is it is a head and shoulders pattern. That's what it is, right? That's what it is. It's a head and shoulders pattern on the short time frame. So more likely than not, you're going to see this, which would validate what we presumed would happen from the longer time frame, which is over here. Let's zoom in just a hair. This pattern is the prevailing triple top bear pattern, right? Mm-hmm. And it did break the downtrend. It consolidated, formed what looks to be kind of sort of a double bottom, similar to what SYTA did. Tests VWAP, breaks VWAP, and then you have a bunch of top tails. Look at
We
this.
don't like top tails.
Top tails suck.
We like a bottom tail.
We want bottom, baby. We want
Tails.
bottom. Now, I will grant you that it's holding above VWAP, but it's barely moving. So we'll come back and check and see if it actually keeps moving or if we were correct in assuming that Viri is trying to trap people, as they say, a bull trap. Bull trap. Bull trap. Yeah. All right, let's go to NKGN. You know, you got when you get lemonades, you gotta make when you get lemons, you gotta make lemonade.
Life gives you lemon. When life gives you lemonade, you gotta make lemons.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
the one. That's the one. Yeah. So far it's kind of boring. Nothing's moving, so we're gonna go through some strategies that we use. Yeah. Yeah. We're not telling you use them. You do you, baby.
You do you.
You schmart. You schmart. I'm just telling you what's up, man. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? All right, so let's look at this ticker. There is, again, a situation with very low volume. NKGN. It had news, okay? I'll give you that. It had news about Alzheimer's Association, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but the float's 11 million, almost 12 million, and the volume's only 14 million. It's up 32%, but it was up a heck of a lot more than that earlier in the morning. It was up $1.75, which I guess was what, 50, 60%, something like that? Something like that. So let's go ahead and take the graffiti pencil, put a level over here, which would be the high of the day. And since then, you have top tail, sell off, tries to bounce back up, hits VWAP, and gets rejected. And this is what it looks like on the 5 minute.
5 minute.
Let's go to the 1 minute. Let's take a look at the videotape. So let's take a look at this. So here, on the 1 minute, you could see that there's a head and shoulders pattern very similar to SYTA, right? SYTA is the ticker? Yeah, SYTA, right? So you have a shoulder here, a shoulder over here, and you get the head right here. Head and shoulders pattern. You got the sell-off. And again, all these tickers have low volume, so a lot of it is being based on algorithmic stuff, right? So it's algos that are actually moving stuff. So what happens on this one? Double bottom, push to VWAP, fail, and sells off. This is exactly the same pattern that the algos used on SYTA. Got it? Got it there? Chopper doubles, you got it?
Yeesh.
Head and shoulders, prevailing pattern, forms double bottom, tests VWAP, fails. Okay, NKGN, head and shoulders, over here, sells off, forms a double bottom, tests VWAP, fails. Okay, Viri. You got either a triple top, or you could say that this is a head and shoulders as well if you want to, either or, but it looks more like a triple top. Bearish pattern, sells off. If you look at the 5 minute, it looks kind of sort of like a double bottom over here. Bottom, tests VWAP, okay? And so far, it's trying to hold VWAP, but most likely than not, this is all algorithmic movement, similar to what SYTA went through, similar to what NKGN went through. And again, bless you, doubles. And again, this is all because there's very low volume, so the algos kick in and do their thing, and a lot of times the same type of algos work on multiple tickers, so you'll see similar patterns on multiple tickers. And of course, you could see quite clearly on the 5 minute, even more so on the 1 minute, that there is very little volume and that everything is barcoding. And oh wow, gee willikers, look at what happened. The price action went under VWAP, just like it did with SYTA, just like it did with the one, the only NKGN. So these are the situations, if you will, with these tickers. Okay, so that is the show. We get a lot more in depth with stuff like this and other stuff on our Discord. So you are welcome to join us on our live stream, which will start in about 5 or 6 minutes on our Discord. There's a link in the description to sign up for a 5-day trial for $1 for the Discord, in the pinned comment as well as in the description. So you could go ahead and do that. And then after the 5 days, if you decide to stay, it's $39.99. I'm telling you right now, we are 100% raising the price, okay? Because we added a bunch of new features to the Discord, like real-time news, news search features. We added scanners, custom-made scanners that were made from some of our compatriots in the Discord.
Yes.
Very experienced folks that have been trading for over 30 years.
Yep.
And they also have tech skills, so we have scanners in the Discord as well. So the price is definitely going up, probably by today. So if you want to sign up and lock in that $39.99 price, you could do that today. That would be, a way to lock in the low price. But after today, that price goes up. So it's a $1 for the 5-day trial and $39.99 after the 5-day trial. We'll see you on the Discord live stream. Also, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, go ahead and do what this fella says. Why not?
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share.
Because sharing is caring, doubles.
Yes.
Sharing is caring. And of course, if you're not following us on Twitter, aka x.com, what you doing? Go ahead and give a follow. It don't cost nothing. It's at Coach Nick Money.
At Coach Nick Money.
At Coach Nick Money, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, you could also follow us at Twitch. At Coach Nick Money.
At Coach Nick Money.
At Coach Nick Money, baby. It's
sir.
Coach Nick Money.
DBL Knicks.
And the prancing stock queen herself, the Sarangari specialist, the capturer of stonks or gazelles, either one. It don't matter. But I know that the doubles like stonks. DBL moms.
Hey!
All right. That's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Make a lot of money because I'm Coach Nick Money.